I will present about motivating for performance. So firstly, I will talk about what is motivation and how does it work. Motivation is defined as the psychological processes that arouse and direct people's goal-direct behavior. There are four major perspectives that offer different explanations for how to motivate employees. Motivation is difficult to understand because we can actually see it or know it in another person. It must be inferred from one behavior. It's imperative for us as a manager to understand the processes of motivation if you are to guide employees in accomplishing your organization objective. The way motivation works is complex because motivation is the result of multiple personal and contextual. Both category of factor influence an employee's level of motivation and engagement at work. So, personal factor include personality, ability, core self-evaluations, emotions, attitudes, needs, values, and work attitude. And contextual factors include organizational culture, cross-cultural values, physical environment, reward and reinforcement, group norms, communication technology, leader behavior, organizational design, organizational climate, job design, and HR practice. So both of factor will uh, bring us to motivations and employees engagement.
Hi, my name is Azam. In this slide, we will discuss about a model of motivation. There are five simple model of motivation, which is unfulfilled need, motivations, behaviors, rewards, and the last one is feedback. Without wasting time, we go to the first one, which is unfulfilled need. Everyone has their need and desires to be fulfilled, which such as food, shelter, and safety. Now we go to the next, which are motivation and behaviors. Motivation is the key for everyone to do something. Without motivation, the people and the workers can do a small thing. I give you a perspective of the worker itself. If I'm the staff of the big company, the salary and the bonuses is the motivation to me to work even harder to achieve or accomplish something that the company give to me, such as the task to do. Now we can see that the motivation that I use to is the money, and the behaviors is I work even harder to achieve. Now we go to the second last point, which is rewards. There are two types of rewards, which is extrinsic rewards and intrinsic rewards. The first one is extrinsic rewards. Extrinsic rewards is the payoff rewards, which is such as money, and you do something to get what you want. I give you such example. You earning a bachelor or a master to get you a good jobs, and you completing the work for money. The second is intrinsic rewards. Intrinsic rewards is the satisfaction after you do the work. Such as example is you continuing the work because you enjoy to do it, and staying late at work because you love what you do. The last one is feedback. Feedback will inform you whether behavior work or you should do it again. Such as example, working more hours will fulfill your need for more money in the future. In this slide, we're gonna share about 4 major perspectives on motivation. First one is content theories, second is process, the third one is job design, and the last one is reinforcement. Content theories emphasizes as needs as motivators. I will give you two example of motivators. The first one is Maslow hierarchy, and the second is McClellan. Maslow hierarchy explains 5 things that people needs. The first one is physiological, safety, love or belonging, esteem and self-actualization. Second is McClellan. McClellan explained that we have 3 needs, which is for achievement, for affiliation, and the last one is power. Second major perspectives on motivation is process theory. Process theories focus on thoughts and perceptions on behavior motivation. Based on justice theory, people need fairness and justice in a relationship or interactions. Expectancy theory says that people are attracted by how much they want something. I will give you some example, such as if people do the work at an office because of the money and they want it, they will do it better and perfectly. The third is job design theories. Job design theories focus on job design that lead to employee satisfactions and performance. Scientific management theory had attempted to fit people to jobs by reducing the number of tasks workers had to perform to achieve goal. I will give you some example and comparison between the person or workers had a lot of tasks to do and other workers that had less work to do. The less work, of course, the workers that less tasks to do must be performing the task better and good, better than workers that had more jobs, more tasks to do that can make the workers stress. The last one is reinforcement theory. Reinforcement theory of motivation can motivate staff through reinforcement, punishment, and extinction. Reinforcement theory can be in the workplace can be negative or positive as long as it reinforces desires, employee experience and behavior. In the workplace, must have positive and negative behavior of workers. I will give you some example. If company have negative behavior of employee, we can punish him by give the workers 24 hours notice and reduce the cost of the amount of salary.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, I, Muhammad Amirul Amin bin Abdul Manaf, metric number 292281 will will be a presenter to share you guys for this slide. Okay, this slide shows Maslow's hierarchy of need theory 5 levels. So, what is Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory 5 levels? Each that is which propose the people are motivated by 5 level of needs based on pyramid that I put on this slide. Okay, so we will go for the first one is psychological need, the most basic human physical need. Okay, need for food, clothing, shelter, comfort, self-preservation. Workplace example like this are covered by wages. Second, so the first one is the most basic human physical need. So everyone like employees need this. Okay, the second one is safety need. It be the second below. So what is safety need? It's need for physical safety, emotional security, avoidance of violence. Okay, I will give you guys workplace examples such as health insurance, job insecurity, work safety rules, pension plans, satisfy this need. Okay. The third one is love belonging. What is love belonging? Need for love, friendship, affection. Workplace examples such as office parties, companies, softball teams, management retreats. The number higher two is esteem need for self-respect, status, reputation, recognition, self-confidence. Workplace examples like bonus, promotion, awards. So this is so important for the employees to boost their their motivation to work harder for some company. Okay, the highest one is self actualization actualization need. Okay, what is this? Okay, so this is the highest level need for self fulfillment, increasing competence, using abilities to the fullest. So what is example of this? The example is sabbatical leave to further personal growth. Okay, that's for this slide. Okay, so the second person is McClellan's required needs theory. So there are three needs theory for. So the first one is need for achievement. What is need for achievement? This is desire to excel or to do something better or more efficiently, to solve problem, to achieve excellence in challenging tasks. So that is the main needs for achievements that it's kind of in way to do something in challenging tasks such as to solve problem and more efficiently. The second one is need for affiliation. Need for affiliation, like I need close relationship, so it's about relationship. This is the desire for friendly and warm relation with other people. Okay, so it's more about relationship, like friendly and the other people. The third one is need for power. So what mean is need for power? Need for power is I need to control others. So what it means that this is the desire to be responsible for other people, to influence their behavior or to control them. So it's like some the higher level, like boss, that they are control the employees, like to control means that influence their behavior. Okay, after that, McClellan also using acquired needs theory to motivate employees. What is mean? Okay, so as a manager, you can apply acquired needs theory by appealing to the preferences associated with each need. Consider the following recommendations. So it's related for the three needs that I explained just now. So like need for achievement. So people motivate by the need for achievement prefer, such as working on challenging but not impossible tasks or projects. Situation in which uh sorry like something else is situation in which good performance relies on effort and ability rather than luck, then it being reward for their efforts. So that is the achievement. Okay, relate to the need for power. So people have a high need for power are more likely to enjoy, okay, such as being in control of people and events and being recognized for this responsibility. So what about need for affiliation? So those who tend to seek social approval and satisfying personal relationships may have a high need for affiliation. So that I explained just now, that it's about relationship. So need for affiliation may not be the most efficient managers because at times they will have to make decisions that will make people resent them. So that's that need for affiliation. Okay.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Kamil bin Zainal Abidin. I can present the slide, the McClellan's three needs. McClellan three needs is the theory made to important assumptions about the need for achievement, power, and affiliation. Need of achievement, this is the desire to excellence, to do something better, more efficiently, to solve the problems, to achieve the excellence in challenging tasks. Secondly, affiliation. Affiliation. This the desire for friendly and the warm relation with other people. Lastly, needs of power. This is the desire to be responsible for other people, to influence their behavior or control them. Can explain the Deci and Ryan self-determination theory is competency, autonomy, and relatedness. Like, focus on interest motivation. Self-determination theory focus primarily on intrinsic motivation and rewards rather than on interests, motivation and rewards. The three innate needs to achieve psychological growth. According to the theory, people need to satisfy the three innate needs of competency, autonomy, and relatedness. Competency: people need to feel qualified, knowledgeable, and capable of completing a goal or task and to learn different skills. Second, autonomy. People need to feel they have freedom and the discretion to determine what they want to do and how they want to do it. Lastly is a relatedness. People need to feel a sense of belonging or attachment to others. Using self-determination theory to motivate employees. Manager can apply this theory by engaging in lead behavior that fosters the experience of competency, autonomy, and relatedness. Competency: manager can provide tangible resources, time, content, and coaching to improve employees' competency. Autonomy: to enhance feelings of autonomy, manager can develop trust with their employees and empower them by delegating meaningful tasks to them. Relatedness: many companies, such as Relatedness, use the camaraderies to foster relatedness. In this slide, I can explain the Hesbert two-factor theory from dissatisfying factor to satisfied factor. The result: Hesbert's two-factor theory, which proposes the work satisfaction and dissatisfaction arise from two different factors. Work satisfaction from motivating factor and work dissatisfaction from hygiene factor. Factor versus motivation factor. In Hesbert's theory, the hygiene factor are the lower level needs, and the motivating factor are the high level needs. The two areas are separated by the zone in which employment are neither satisfied or dissatisfied. Two-factor theory to motivate employers. Firstly, achievement. Secondly, a resignation.
Hi everyone, I will continue the presentation for subtopic 12.5 and 12.6, which is first, we will look at Hesbert two-factor theory, satisfaction versus dissatisfaction. Okay, what is Hesbert two-factor theory? It is a theory that Frederick Hesbert have done before, that there were two keys to determine a job satisfaction and a job dissatisfaction. So, first, job satisfaction was more frequently associated with motivating factor. There are 5 elements of motivating factor, which is achievement, recognition, characteristic of the work, responsibility, and advancement. Second, job dissatisfaction was more often associated with hygiene factor, which is have 5 elements also. First, working condition, pay and security, company policies, supervisor, and interpersonal relationship. So, as you can see in the slide, I have already mentioned which one is hygiene factor and which one is motivating factor. Okay. Then in Hesbert theory also, hygiene factor is for lower level needs. Meanwhile, motivating factor is for higher level needs. Okay. Even though we consider hygiene factor in an organization, it doesn't make people feel happy and not even make worker to be motivated to work harder. But if we are not consider this hygiene factor in our organization, it will make the worker absolutely miserable. Okay, it different with motivating factor. If we consider motivating factor, it can affect the job content or the reward of work performance. Herzberg also believe that this factor can spur superior work performance. So, what we can learn from this Herzberg theory? First, an organization should eliminate dissatisfaction by make sure that hygiene factors are considerable in their organization. Next, an organization also need to concentrate motivating factor in their organization to spur superior work performance in their workers. Okay guys, next let me explain 12.6 topic. We will look at the comparison from all satisfaction theory, which is Maslow, McClelland, Deci and Ryan, and Herzberg theory. You can see in the slide, Maslow theory believe that three elements which is self-actualization, esteem, and love should be considered to give satisfaction to higher level. Meanwhile, there are also three elements should consider to give satisfaction to lower level, which is also love, safety, and psychological. Next, McClelland theory. McClelland theory believe that three elements should consider to give satisfaction to workers, which is achievement, power, and affiliation. Next, Deci and Ryan theory, they believe that competence, autonomy, and relatedness elements should be considered to give satisfaction to worker. And last, Herzberg theory, the one that I have explained deeply before this at subtopic 12.5. This theory believe that motivating factor should be considered to higher level and hygiene factor should be considered to lower level, which is these two factors will give impact to satisfaction and dissatisfaction of worker in an organization. Okay, for this slide, we will look at the process perspective on employee motivation and equity justice theory about fairness. There are three process perspective on employee motivation, which is how employee today choose behavior to meet their needs. For this part, we need to learn three process perspective on motivation, which is first, equity and justice theory, second, expectancy theory, third, goal setting theory. So, I will explain about equity and justice theory a little bit, then other presenter will continue the presentation for this theory. Okay, what is equity and justice theory? It is a model of motivation that explains how people strive for fairness and justice in social exchange or give and take relationship. Simply, I can say that this theory is like you will compare yourself and your pay to market data as well. For example, you have a higher education, but you are not being paid commensurately based on your education level. I'm sure that we will be mad if we face this situation because our salary is not commensurately with our education level. So, this theory is pioneered by psychological J. Stacey Adams, which is based on the idea that employees are motivated to see fairness in the reward they expect for task performance and are motivated to resolve feelings of injustice. Then, equity theory is based on cognitive dissonance. What is cognitive dissonance? Cognitive dissonance is I can say like a regret feeling, something like that. Okay, this theory is based on cognitive dissonance, the psychological discomfort experience between their cognitive attitude and incompatible behavior. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
I can present the slide. The title is equity or justice theory. How fairly do you think you are being treated in relation to inputs? The inputs that people perceive the gift to an organization includes the first, time; two, effort; three, training, experience, education, intelligence, and creativity. Secondly, outputs and rewards. Outputs are the rewards that people receive from an organization, and they include: first, pay, benefit, praise and recognition; bonus, promotion dan status perquisite. Third, the comparison. Equity theory suggests that people compare the ratio of their own outcomes to inputs against the ratio of someone else's outcomes to inputs. When employees preserve the equity, they are satisfied with the ratio and do not change the behavior. In the slide, I can explain expectancy theory. How much do you want and how likely are you to get it? Expectancy is the belief that a particular level of effort will lead to a particular level of performance. This is called the effort to performance expectancy. Secondly, instrumentality. Instrumentality is the expectation that successful performance of the task will lead to the outcome desired. Lastly, the valence. Valence is value the importance a worker against to the people to the possible outcome to reward. Using expectancy theory to motivate employers. The principal problem with expectancy theory is that it is complex. Even so, the underlying logic is understandable, and research support its use as a motivation tool. What rewards do employers believe? As a manager, you need to know your employers to determine what rewards outcome they value, such as pay rises and mission. What are job objective and a performance level to research? 2. You need to clearly define the performance objective and determine what performance level or behavior you want so that you can tell about employers what they need to do attain the reward.
And okay, so next I will share to you guys for this slide. Okay, this slide have two parts. Okay, one part is expectancy theory. How much do you want and how likely are you to get it? So we go for this expectancy theory first. Okay. There are three elements. The first one is expectancy. You can see in this slide for the box in the green color. First, expectancy. Second, it's instrumentality. And third, valence. So, we go for the first one is expectancy. Expectancy is the belief that a particular level of effort will lead to a particular level of performance. So it's all about performance. So for the expectancy, I made some mind map in box in the pink color. You can see the mind map. Okay, the mind map. So I will explain one by one. Okay, for the first effort, I exert an effort to go to performance I in order to achieve. So in the performance, a particular level of task performance. So in this case, when performance to go outcomes, how? So that I can realize in the outcomes certain outcomes, for example, pay or recognition. So you can see the arrow down for the expectancy. Okay, expectancy is will I able to perform at the desired level on a task. And the next box, so that I can realize the arrow go down for the instrumentality. So what I need to do is what outcome will I receive if I perform at this level? That's mean for instrumentality. For the valence, the question is how much do I want the outcome? So for the mind map, I made is that for expectancy. So we go for the number 2 is instrumentality is the expectation that successful performance of the task will lead to the outcome desired. So we expect the performance and the successful of every task we doing is that instrumentality. And the third one is valence. Valence is value, the importance a worker assigns to the possible outcome or reward. So it's more about reward. So it about importance a worker assigns to the possible outcome. So it's such a important thing. So we settle down for the part 1. So we go to the part 2. Part 2 that I made like a short note at the right. Okay, so goal setting theory. Objectives should be specific and challenging but achievable. So what is that all means? So we go one by one. So we go for the first subtopic is the 4 motivational mechanism of goal setting theory. It has 4. That's direct attention. What is direct attention? Direct attention is goal setting directs your attention toward goal relevant tasks and away from irrelevant ones. That's mean direct attention. The second one is regulate effort. The effort you expend is generally proportional to the goal's difficulty and time deadlines. Okay, the number 3 is increase persistence. Means that goal setting makes obstacles become challenge to be overcome, not reasons to fail. The number 1 is foster the use of strategies and actions plans. That means the use of strategies and action plans make it more likely that you will realize success. So that the 4 motivational mechanisms of goal setting theory. So we go to the number 2 is stretch goals. What is stretch goals? So Stretch goals, which are goals beyond what they actually expect to achieve. Okay, so we expect what we want to achieve. So I give example such as forcing people out of their comfort zones. The number two is building their confidence when they succeed. That means stretch goals. We go for the number three is two types of goal orientations. The first types is the learning goal orientation. I will explain what means the learning goal orientation sees goal as a way of developing competence through the acquisition of new skills. So we can develop competence if we have a new skills. Okay, the number two is the performance goal orientations. The first learning. The second is performance. Means that views goals as a way of demonstrating and validating a competence we have by seeking the approval of others. Okay, that's mean of performance goal orientation. We go for the number four is some practical results. It has four. The first one is goals should be specific. Goals should specific. It means that it lead to higher performance that general goals like do your best or improve performance. This is why it is essential to set specific, challenging goals. Goals such as sell as many cars as you can. Other than that, be nicer to customers. Okay, that goals should be specific. The number two of practical result is certain conditions are necessary for goal setting to work. Mean that in order for goal setting to be effective, people must have two. The first one have the abilities and resources needed to achieve the goal. Number two is be committed to the goal. Goal commitment can be fostered by allowing employees to participate in the process of establishing goals. Okay. The number three is goals should be linked to the action plans. An action plan outlines the activities or tasks that need to be accomplished in order to obtain a goal and remind us of what we should be working on. That means goals should be linked to action plans. We have to set goals by doing something, not just like set just goals and we do not do nothing. That's not goals. Okay. The number four is performance feedback and participation. What's in performance feedback and participation is in deciding how to achieve goals are necessary but not sufficient for goal setting to work. Means that feedback and participation enhance performance only when they lead employees to set and commit to a specific difficult goal. Okay. So there are four in some practical results. So in the part 2 that I explained to you guys is goal setting theory have four. The main topic is the four motivational mechanisms of goal setting theory, stretch goals, two types of goal orientation, and the last one is some practical result. Okay, so that's all for this slide. For the next slide is job design perspective on motivation. So there are three job design perspectives on motivation. So the first is fitting people to jobs. Second, fitting jobs to people. And third, the job characteristic model. 5 job attributes for better work outcomes. Okay, we go for the number 1, fitting people to jobs. What is Okay, that is based on the assumption that people will gradually adapt to any work situation. So, people must to adapt any work situation. Okay, next, one technique is scientific management, the process of reducing the number of tasks a worker performs. So, when a job is stripped down to its simplest elements, it enables a worker to focus on doing more of the same task, thus increasing employee efficiency and productivity. So, it means that people must fit for the jobs. So, it can increase the efficiency and productivity for the employees. So the second is fitting jobs to people. The first, fitting people to job, and second, fitting jobs to people for make you easier to remember that. So it has two job types of job. First, job enlargement, that putting more variety into a job. So I will explain more about this. Okay. So it consists of increasing the number of tasks in a job to increase variety and motivation. For instance, the job of installing flat screens in the television's sets could be enlarged to include installation of the circuit boards as well. Okay. So that's some example that I found. For job enrichment, the second one is job enrichment, putting more responsibility and other motivating factors into a job. So what more about job enrichment is consists of building into a job such motivating factors as responsibility, achievement, recognition, stimulating work, and advancement. However, instead of the job enlargement technique of simply giving employees additional tasks of similar difficulty, with job enrichment, employees are given more responsibility. So that means job enrichment is focused more about responsibility. We go for the number 3 of job design perspective, is the job characteristic model, 5 job attributes for better work outcomes. So we go for the 5 job characteristic. So what is the 5 job characteristic? The number 1 is skill variety. Number 2, task identity. Number 4, task significance. Number 3, task significance. Number 4, autonomy, and the last one is feedback. So in this subtopic, we will learn more about how the model works and applying the job characteristic model. So that's all for this slide. I will pass this explanation for this topic to my friend Azam. Thank you.
In this slide, we will share about 5 job characteristics, which is first, skill variety, second, task identity, third, task significance, fourth, autonomy, and the 5 is feedback. First, skill variety. Skill variety describes extent to which job requires a skill to do in different jobs. In different job, we have to apply different skill. For example, a chef need variety of skill in cooking than just a coffee maker or barista or cake maker. Point number 2 is task identity. Task identity meaning that different tasks is required to complete the work. Task identity extend which job requires a worker to perform. I will give you some example, such as a manager who have to go through all the sections in the supermarket to check the operation, different with the staff who just do the arrangements in the shelves in only one section. Point number 3 is task significance. Task significance is describe how many people are affected by your job. I will give you the simple example to explain. A doctor, task for a doctor who had responsibility on the patient had higher risk and tasks to do than just a cleaner who has to clean the room of the patient. We see that the doctor has a higher task to do comparing the cleaner. We go to the second last one, which is autonomy. Autonomy means that a person's ability to act on his own and value on his interests. Autonomy also describes the extent to which job employees to make choices on the task and decide on her own to perform. I will give you the example, which is a worker had a lot of tasks to do and the boss allow the employee to do the work in their way and time. This can improve the worker performance on the tasks they do. We go to the last one, which is feedback. Feedback meaning that how much do you do well in what you're doing. Feedback also mean that how well the worker do in the performance of their job. Some example, which is professional football players receive the immediate comment on the fan side how the players perform, and the teachers receive the principal's comment on how the teacher teach in their class. We go to the next, which is how the model works according to the 5 job characteristics. Number 1, meaningfulness of work. Second, responsibility of results. And the last one is knowledge of results. Meaningfulness of work is so important because people can do anything in the work if the work is meaningful for them. For example, the teacher who loves in teaching the student will give everything in their life for teach the student. Such example, they give their money, they spend the money to buy the books, the module or everything to help the student in study. This is shown that teachers is meaningful to the work. Second is responsibility for results, which means takes responsibility on what results is out. Responsibility for the results is also when you take full accountability for your actions decisions and thoughts of what you're doing in the work. The last one is knowledge for results. Knowledge of a results is knowledge about achieving a goal of the performance or externally presented information about the outcome of the performing a skill. Next is contingency factors. Contingency factors means that in the future or event when it's not happening yet, such as emergency. We have 3 contingency factors, which is knowledge and skills. The second is desire for personal growth, and the last one is context of satisfaction. Number 1 is necessary knowledge and skills. All people and human need knowledge and skill, and it is the ability to do something well. A well-developed skill can make us master in particular field. Second is desire for personal growth. Everyone have the desire and need to make self growth in particular field. I'll give you some example. A teacher in the field of teaching want to develop his personal growth, which is need to know more knowledge and skill and need to groom his skill. The last one is context satisfaction. Satisfaction is needed when you do something and you love it. Some example is a teacher when he teach and do his work or her work, and at the end of the month he got paid well. That is can be the satisfaction for the teacher to do and do more. In this slide, I will share about applying the job characteristics model. There are 3 major steps to follow when applying the model. Point number 1, diagnose the work environment, whether to see a problem. This typically involves MPS, Model Motivating Potential Score. This MPS is to see the workers' motivation and behaviors. Point number 2 is determine whether job redesign is appropriate. If the MPS low, an attempt should be made to determine which of the job characteristics is causing the problem. You should next decide whether the job redesign is appropriate. Job design is more likely to work in likely participative environment in which employees have the necessary to knowledge and skills. The last point is consider how to redesign the job. Job redesign may involve job rotation, job enrichment, and the last one is job enlargement. Job rotation is meaning that moving the employees to the different tasks. For example, move the employees that in production development department to the marketing development department. The second one is job enlargement, which is meaning that adding the tasks to perform by employees and assigning more work to do. Job enlargement can reduce boredom with repetitive and monotonous work. For example, employees that in production development department has to do the same thing in a daily in a month or a year with the same thing, and they can boring. Employees that enlargement task or adding the task to these employees can make them feel better because not doing the same thing as always. The last one is job enrichment, which is company adding tasks and varying challenges. Thus, company also gives employees more autonomy and flexibility over their work. This type of job management can give employees more time and more work and more life in their life, because they have family and children to reduce the stress. For example, employees can do the work in what time they want to do and not be stressed in doing the work.
The subtopic that I will present is under the reinforcement perspective on motivation. Reinforcement theory suggests behavior will be repeated if it has positive consequences and won't be if it has negative consequences. This section also describes how to use 4 techniques, which is positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, extinction, and punishment, to modify employee behavior. So let's see to the mind map. This is what the manager wants. The example is manager want the employee to work faster. So the manager will say like, I want you to work faster. And then this is what the employee do. There is two type of employee, which is employee who is improve their performance, and then the employee who is not improve their performance. So the employee who is improve their performance will say like, okay, I'm working faster. And then the employee who is not improve their performance will say, I'm working at the pace I always have. So for the employee who is improve their performance, it will bring them to the positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. And then to the employee who is not improve their performance, it will bring them to the extinction and punishment. That is a 4 type of manager type of behavior modification. So firstly, for positive reinforcement is the introduction of positive consequences to strengthen the likelihood that a particular behavior will occur again in the future. So the manager will say to the employee who is improve their performance like, you get a raise and promotion. And then the negative reinforcement is removal of a negative stimulus to strengthen the likelihood that a particular behavior will occur again in the future. So the manager will say to the employee who is improve their performance like, I'm no longer nagging you. So that was a positive thing to the employee. And then for the employee who is not improve their performance, they will get the extinction. Extinction is decrease the likelihood that a particular behavior will occur again in the future by ignoring it or making sure it is not reinforced. For example, the manager will say to the employee who is not improve their performance, like, no praise, raise or promotion for you. And then secondly, the employee who is not improve their performance will get a punishment. For example, the manager will say to them like, I'm docking your pay. Punishment meaning decrease the likelihood that a behavior will occur again in the future by presenting something negative or withdrawing something positive. So that is the result from the manager's type of behavior modification. For the employee who is improve their performance, the manager can increase chances behavior will be repeated. For example, the employee will be like, I'll keep up the faster pace. And then for the employee who is not improve their performance, the manager can reduce chances behavior will be repeated. For example, the employee will be like, I'll have to work faster to have praise and raise. And then there will be like okay, I will a bit faster from now on. So that's all the elaboration about 4 type of behavior modification.